Hello, hello.
Hello.
So, how's it going?
Oh, pretty good.
That's good to hear. With this being a double today, I wanted to ask you, would you be up for hearing one of my zany melee theories?
I get it. Yes.
Okay, because, I had, a thought the other day about, how this game works at kind of, a fundamental level, and, what the value of different things are. It's not really, how to play the game, per se, or, how to play a character, but just more, about how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm gonna, I'm gonna get a picture for you, because I just thought of this now. I just kind of, put it together with some friends, very late at night. It's a Battlefield SSBM. Cool. So, let me grab an image. And wonderful. So, let me just open this. Open link in new tab. No, open image in new tab. There we go. Okay, so let me share my screen, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So, what we have here is Battlefield.
Yep.
This is and this is kind of the map of Battlefield, right? So, what I mean by map is there's more on the screen than just Battlefield. There's more playable area in this game than just Battlefield, than just the stage we fight on. If we actually think about it, it's probably, there are dimensions, to the stage that are also, that encompass the spot we don't usually fight on too. So as an example, Battlefield might actually have a space of this. Okay, cool. So you're with me so far.
Yep.
So let's say that we have Falco and Marth. So on the screen. At any given point, there are going to be spots on the map, not just the stage, but the map as a whole, where if Falco hits Marth with a down air, Marth will die. He will not be able to recover back to the stage with his double jump and his up B. He just will die. He won't be able to reach the ledge, he'll just die. They're probably, mainly down here at this point. Because it would be, slightly below where his, up B and double jump take him. So it'd be, down, it would be, anything below, maybe these points. Maybe even lower than that. Maybe the cutoff is here. Doesn't really matter. So, what I figured out is, and there's going to be the same, that's going to hold true for his other kill moves. There's going to be spots over here, where Falco can hit back air at 0, and Marth won't be able to get back. Same thing over here. And there's going to be spots near the top of the screen where he can shine him and Marth will die. All of this, has more knockback early, so maybe it's up here. Maybe the range is a bit bigger. Are you with me so far?
Yes.
So what percent does? What the goal of our damage is, fundamentally, is it is changing, i.e. growing, these zones.
Mm-hmm.
Because when they start the match, they don't reach the stage. But as damage accrues, maybe they become like this.
Right.
Maybe they change so that they grow like this. They become like this for the down air spot, right? They become, I guess down air wouldn't go all the way over here. Down air would probably be here. And here. But you can see, we're also starting to get overlap between different kill zones. Which is also which also adds power to our characters. Because we have different ways of, killing them in different directions. When there's overlap, this is really where we start to get, when there's overlap or areas start to get close to each other, this is really where mix-ups are born. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts?
Yep, I think I see what you're going for here.
Yeah. Does it make sense, though, or do I sound crazy?
No, it definitely makes sense.
Yeah. Funnily, the reason I thought of this is because I was trying to solve a problem with Ness, and then I did. But it was a very weird solution, because I kind of had this, Ness isn't very, he's not really good at edge guarding, right? He's just not. So, the challenge I had versus floaties is, I do my first big combo and put them to, 60, and then I just have, a miserable time for the rest of the stock until they eventually die, Because it's just, I'm just hitting them over and over and over and over and over again. I'm this sucks. This is awful. Why am I doing this? And I realized that, I need to hit them hard, so I started looking for more, yo-yo glitch, more of his gimmicky, what I figured was gimmicky stuff. I still stomp, down air, that kind of thing, but, also things like yo-yo glitch thunder jacket, because it just happens to kill early, so look for the thing that kills early. And I've noticed, things, my games are a lot more successful versus them, because I realized that, God, one of the perks of the floaties is that, their kill zones over here are like way over here because of how durable they are, right? Like, they even at high percent, like Jigglypuff, even at high percent, unless you hit her like here, like, you're not killing her with Ness. But with something like Thunder Jacket or Stomp Up Air, like, yeah, you can just, like, dunk her. Like, the kill zones for those things become like this. Like, very, very quickly. So, yeah, and it was an interesting thing to think about. Because our move, yeah, that's just kind of like, it's kind of like something I've been thinking about a lot lately. But enough about me and my zany ideas. Talk to me. How has Melee been going? How have you been?
I've been good. I've been very busy though. I haven't really had like a lot of home time in the last few weeks, so I haven't been playing a ton. Just like a few minutes when I get home from work.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What would you like when you're playing in those few minutes? Yeah, like, is it like, how are you finding the games going?
Pretty good. I do spend a lot of time just like being in training mode though, like trying to get used to the things that we were working on the last time, like moving my like sort of control scheme over a little bit. Trying to make sure that I'm outcanceling with R, like I'm shielding with R, like I'm kind of moving fluidly in and out of that.
Yeah.
So as far as like actual games go, I definitely feel like I've picked up on a few of the things that we've talked about, like a little bit better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Comboing,
like what are the things that are going well then? I guess.
like comboing and punishing floaties, I've had like a much easier time with, like just trying to spot their, or like being more cognizant, I guess, of like what their escapes are and like what the player tendencies are. Like I find myself just kind of sniping a lot more double jumps than I used to.
Okay, so the sniping double jumps, that makes sense. Do you find yourself covering like where they want to go?
Yeah.
When they're okay, cool. Covering free fall better. That makes sense because yeah, like a lot of like beating floaties honestly is just a lot of planning. Like they're not, they tend to be pretty straightforward just because they're kind of slow, but like they do make you do a lot of reps.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the trade-off, and each one of those reps has like a little mini mix-up system built into it just because of the game's like good, like fairly reasonable defensive suite. So yeah, that's kind of the challenge with them. It's not like Fox where it's like you only have to do a few steps right, but like if you do them right, he just explodes. Like they're difficult and they're tight and they're fast-paced, but if you do them right, he just explodes. With floaties, it's like you have to do like 20 reps, but like yeah, they don't have as much counterplay. They don't have as much counterplay even if they do get out. But yeah, there's like a lot more chances for them to get out. What would you say, I know that finishing has generally been a big theme for us, like recognizing where F smash hits relative to our other moves, where Marth's sword swings on one move relative to another move, and how those kind of like work together to have coverage. How would you find that's going, or is it that's a pretty big concept? So if it's not really something that you're noticing yet, that's fine. But I just want to kind of check in on that one.
Yeah, that's definitely been a bit more slow moving. Still working on putting F Smash into like the game plan more, like learning, like just how outrageously good that move is.
Yeah, let's do some fun things with F Smash. Let's open Uncle Punch and let's.
Okie doke.
Yeah. We'll go to... I don't know, you pick the level. Not Dreamland. Anything but Dreamland or FD.
Alright. Am I opening or are you opening?
You're opening.
Okay.
I think that the power of Marth's F Smash is something you kind of got to feel for yourself.
Okay. I'm on Pokemon Stadium.
Excellent. Share your screen?
You want the screen share? Yeah.
Perfect. So let's put Fox onto... Well, actually, from here, do you think F Smash will hit?
Yep.
Do it. That seems pretty good. Let's now do... Jump on the side platform, and then down on the D-pad to bring him up there. D-pad.
Oh, there we go.
So then, let's get onto the floor. How far, and then we'll do right on the D-pad to save this. And then, let's just play around with this for a bit. How far away do you think you can hit him from?
I think this tippers.
Okay, do it.
Damn it.
So, inch forward. Just a teensy bit forward.
sense.
Like, that's pretty far away, I think we can agree.
Mm-hmm.
And then left on the D-pad to reload. So let's go the other way. Like, how far on the other side can we hit him from?
There.
Try it. Go back for, like, bring him back there. So left on the, and then try to, like, go even further than that. That is outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what if you're directly, what if you're, like, slightly under him? Like, will this
I think
tip
even
it?
still. Yeah, pretty sure.
Try it. Yeah. So, what are we learning?
It's just auto tippers, like an absurd amount of space.
Yeah.
Like anytime it gets tossed up here, like 2 to 3 tech options should just be covered automatically, right?
Yeah, like, and that's assuming, like, and again, like, because you're covering 2 to 3 tech options, like, yeah, like, if you're, like, slightly to either side of the Pokemon Stadium, like, line, that, like, the line underneath the platform, you should probably just be able to RTC everything.
Yeah.
Because if he goes to the other side from that spot, here, let's bring him back. Let's, like, reload. Yep, like, hop up there. We're gonna just, like, change his position. Actually, you know what? We can do it from the other side. So he's already at the edge. Let's just go to the other side. Like, go to the line, and then face to the right. And then just F-smash the other way. Like, yeah, because if you're, like, what I'm getting at is, from that starting point, assuming that's our starting point for this tech chase, even if he goes to the other side, like, we still get him.
Yeah.
That's insane. So let's talk about up tilt now. Let's try doing that. Let's see where we can hit up tilt from. If you want, you can actually turn the intangibility on for him, so he doesn't, like, we don't have to reload. The way you do that is general CPU options. CPU options. So one back. Yeah, intangibility on. So when you reload, yeah, he won't get hit. He won't move away. So that one's sweet spotting. How much further back can you be? So what you're noticing is probably it doesn't hit his feet, does it? It's because feet on most characters, yours included, are not actually hurt boxes.
Oh.
It is their legs that are hurt boxes.
Interesting.
See what I mean?
Well, I can see from the spark, it's like, yeah, it's almost like a peg just going into his heel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why the back leg when you're shielding is usually the one that gets poked, because like you think about, you see how like your legs how your legs are positioned.
Yeah.
Yep, your back peg, so to speak, is like, Marth is kind of unique in this regard, in that his front leg is more exposed, but for most characters, they kind of like lean the other way. That said, another thing let's do, let's hit him with the back, like, let's see where we can get him with the back end of up tilt. And you can see how, like, so where do we, if we're trying to up tilt and F smash, we can kind of be, like, it's always kind of like the same spot, isn't it? Like, we want to be, like, slightly off center under the side platform, under these low ones. Because you could probably apply this to the Yoshi story platforms and some of the Fountain of Dreams platform configurations as well. Like, this makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then let's now add up air. Like, just up air is going to have a little bit more going on with it, but you can see how it's smaller in front of him. But it's, like, huge behind him.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm getting at here is, these three work together as a really important part of your sharking kit, but they all kind of have one weakness, in that they're kind of, covering above and in front of him is kind of pretty high commitment, because up tilt's only there for, like, a little bit. Up air and up tilt are small or not there very long, and F smash is very laggy. So this is kind of where fair comes in as part of your, like, sharking suite. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, with where fair comes out, it hits that diagonal immediately, so it kind of gives you a relatively low commit option to, like, attack that zone. It's not a perfect solution. Like, I still think diagonally in front of Marth is, like, one of the better ways in on him from the air. But, yeah, yeah, like, this is how you have this is where, like, kind of the counterplay is born. From both sides, really. Because Marth can vary his sword while the opponent can vary their timings and angles. Marth can also just opt to get out of the way, too. He's got super speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is something I'm becoming a bit more cognizant of, too. Like, just that dash is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, it's one frame, and he squashes his height in half, essentially, right?
Oh, yeah. There's, like, crazy...
Well, yeah, he's just not there anymore.
Oh, yeah, no, he's crazy. Marth is such a good character. So, I guess the thing I'd say here is, are you fine, like, with this concept, I know it's a pretty, like, soft concept, but is this helping you kind of grasp, like, what we went over last time? Because I think that, like, this is pretty key to Marth in general. But again, it is hard. Like, this is using the sword is one of the hardest things with this character, if not the hardest thing. So I'm just kind of like, yeah, what are your thoughts on this upon having this explained to you?
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure how to articulate it, but like he does walk this very strange kind of niche where I feel like a lot of the other top tier characters, like their hitboxes are a lot more active, and like they essentially are like a giant hitbox. Like you're kind of throwing yourself at people like a bowling ball, but he is unbelievably fast, very evasive, but the power just comes from like those tipper hitboxes.
He's kind of like playing a different game than a lot of them. I'd actually say that one of his best analogs, weirdly enough, is Jigglypuff. Because she kind of has a similar thing going on with her back air. She's a little bit more like a bowling... She's got a little bit of that... Like, her back air and up air kind of fulfill similar functions to his sword. She operates more on the basis of positioning, in the sense that, like, she has very specific combat positions she wants, where her back air just becomes, like, insane, and she can kind of, like, lob it out more. But when it comes to hit-to-hit interactions, yeah, like, kind of similar. What she tends to do more than him is occupy spots where the opponent doesn't have good ways of, like, engaging her. So she tends to, like, kind of, like, outposition them more on the basis of her movement. But when she does get into spots where she has to scrap, like, usually, yeah, like, the way that she's dealing with it is just putting things out in spots where, like, is trying to, like, basically beat the opponent's moves with her disjoint, which is very Marth-esque. I'd say Sheik and Fel can kind of emulate him a little bit, but, like, they're a little weird. Like, they're a little different because they have, like, Sheik's case, she has, like, very much stronger frame traps upon landing. And in Falcon's case, his moves have more active frames. But, so Marth is kind of this weird, he's very precise. Like, precision and setting how you set yourself up for, like, the hit is, like, really, really important. I think that a common trap with him for this reason is, like, it's tempting to think you can just beat every single situation if you just time the sword better. And that's technically true. But that also means that, like, it can be difficult at times to identify what spots are not worth playing. Because it's like, oh, if I'm just even more skilled than my opponent. But, like, we both know that's kind of, like, not a good strategy.
Yeah.
Be better is not a good strategy as a general rule. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is good. This is good. I think I get the sense that you're learning kind of, like, a lot. I get the sense that you're kind of looking at how he works a little differently.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. What's something that's still, like, what's something that still kind of, like, feels odd or doesn't make sense, or is there anything, I guess, that feels odd or doesn't make sense? That's... Yeah.
I find, like, the way I approach with him just does not feel very strong at all. Like, I think you need to be a lot more patient in that regard. Like, entering someone's space, I have a lot of trouble with.
Sure, so, like, just, like, move around, like, show me, like, bring Fox to the floor, and then, like, let's just show me, like, what you generally, like, how you generally, like, imagine, like, engaging. Okay. Maybe try working in small, like, try breaking when you move forward. So like instead of like so what I would say is try jumping back when you do your aerials. So you're not gonna like jump forward so far. You're just gonna like jump back and so you go in place and then do your stuff. See what I mean? Like you're more controlled. You're able to keep your spacing more precise.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you like, if you jump like slightly forward and then fade back, or if you like jump like backwards so you actually break completely, and then before doing your thing, like I think that this is kind of like an important thing with him. Is this different than how you usually do it?
Oh yeah.
So how does it feel? Does it make sense? Does it feel bad? Talk to me.
It makes sense, but it doesn't feel like unnatural.
That surprises me. Doesn't Falcon basically do this with his near spacing?
I suppose he does, but like this kind of fine spacing and stuff is only something I'm starting to become like a little bit more aware of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what about it feels weird? Is it just the muscle memory, or is it something more like conceptual that feels weird?
I think it's like really just the muscle memory, but I also find like tracking these characters, especially when they're in this kind of spacing, I find really, really hard. Like knowing where they're going to be.
Okay, like so Fox, right? Like so let me ask you. So let's actually explore that. So do you think that every single fair you're doing is trying to hit him?
No.
Okay. So what is the purpose of that fair? Like that one that you just did, like the one that's like sort of that one. What is the point of that fair?
Stop him from coming in.
Right. And if he does come in, can his moves beat that?
No.
Right, because you're Marth. Your moves beat everything, and that's really like that's really the point of them. What that move is doing is it's creating a window where only one of two things can happen. Where only one of three things can happen. One, they outplay you and attack you during the startup, or perfectly time their punish on the end lag. Those are two things that can happen. But like if we get outplayed, we get outplayed. What is generally going to happen though is the opponent does not outplay you that hard, and they are going to either advance after the fact, or they're going to get hit by it. Mm-hmm. Right? They attack, like they stay outside of it. They play outside of the range in some way, which we can observe. And the cooldown of that fair is when we do that, like while the fair is swinging, and the cooldown after is when we do that observation. So that entire time, that's like while that swing is going and the L cancel and we're falling and the L cancel lag is happening, that's when we're watching him to decide what we do next. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So like again, we're not really like, I know that he's difficult to track. This is what gives us that time to do so, because the whole point of this fair is that it is staking our claim over certain space. Mm-hmm. Does this make a little more sense about like how we put like a lid on him, or like how we keep up with him?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Play around with this for another like minute, and then I think let's try to do a practical test. But I think that you will get this, because this is kind of what Falcon's back air is. This is kind of what his nair wall is. And I know that you know how to do those. So, yeah. Now this looks so much cleaner already. And like it also makes your burst approaches, like when you do decide to go forward to like those long jumps, like those long short hop nairs or whatever, or fairs, it makes it so much more like threatening, because they're not expecting that. Mm-hmm. Like they're planning, like you'll notice people start to play closer to the edge of your sword wall. They'll like dance just outside the edge of it. So then if you go forward with like a nair or forward smash on those, or like, like full momentum forward nair or something, like, or, dash jump, like that one. Yeah, exactly. That's the one we want. Like that suddenly becomes so much spookier for someone to deal with.
Yeah. I did find myself getting a lot of like random kills when people start getting used to like this spacing, and then they forget about that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, like people just kind of dicking around like just outside of my range. It's like, yeah.
Well, and like what that tells me is you are still playing the game with them, which is really important. Like you're making decisions for fights based on the needs of the situation, which is phenomenal. Like that's the goal, that's the dream. So with this, Do you think you are up for doing some unranked for me?
Yes.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. One thing I was going to ask about too in this coaching session, since we have the time, because like I have a lot of trouble like kind of like hearing the tips, remembering like your notes as I'm playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like maybe we could do some like replay review,
Yeah.
so I can kind of like be there and be like a little bit more along with it.
Yeah, for sure. If you want to do that, we can start with that. Up to you.
Yeah, I don't really have any that I think are kind of like worth it.
Okay.
The last few games I remember playing online felt like very just sort of silly and casual.
Okay, so here's what I'll say. If you want us to do more VOD review, we absolutely can do so. If you want us even to like look at it how a top player like looks at does a matchup or like plays something, we can also do that as well. Like that is usually, if you don't have VODs, there's usually something we can learn from like Zain or whoever, or like Zain, Osify, Kodoran, whoever. It is entirely up to you. Do you think that would be more productive? If you think it would be, we can like I have zero qualms with that.
Yep, sounds great to me.
Okay, so give me a matchup, or like tell me something that you want to like. What matchup do you want to look at?
Let's try Marth Sheik.
It's always Marth Sheik. So are we going? Are we going to look at a Zain? I mean, like it's usually what people request, so it's all good. What do you think about a Zain Jmook set? We could take a look at that.
Yeah, yes, please.
I feel like that's like very classic, That's very like what the standard is. So let me get this on my screen, and then I'll share, and we'll go from there. Boom, boom, boom. So let's start with, this is from GOML. I don't think they've played since. So, do you have a stage you're thinking of? Like why Marth Sheik? What is it about this matchup that made you pick this one?
I feel like I've been having a lot of trouble with Sheiks I play online lately.
Okay. What specifically are they giving you trouble with, though? Like, is it just everything? Like, is it that they're hard to kill? Is it that they're they're doing lots of needles? Is it that you're not sure how to encroach on their space? Is it the edge guarding? Like, what's the, what is it that they're doing that's annoying?
I'll say, for the moment, everything.
Okay. Let's look at a game on Dreamland, then. Okay. Because I feel like Dreamland's going to have a lot of interactions, so we can get a sense of, like, how we're supposed to handle that.
Okay. I am playing somebody.
Oh.
Yeah. I forgot that there's no reason why you would be here and watching this.
Okay, no worries. Are you on unranked? Let me see here.
Yeah, it's on unranked.
Can you share screen?
Yep.
Perfect. It's a little messy. It's a little messy. That's okay. Okay. Oh, Luigi. Okay. I feel like the floaties are something that we've wanted to work on. We have the time. Do you want to fight the Luigi for a bit, and then we'll do this? Okay, cool. Nice. I would have F smashed him like while he was on his way over, but because we now know how far it goes, right? So like if he's about a Pokemon Stadium platform away, like slightly under that, then we know we can just do it.
Yeah.
This guy. Alright, let's fight him again. Okay, here's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
For your grabs, try up throwing him.
Okay.
And we're just gonna shark him. Nice, he didn't land.
Oh god.
up tilt just kills him at about 130. So like you don't have like if he like recovers above you like that, you can just wait do the up tilt at kill percent.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you.
I saw that pivot. I was like, ooh, clean.
I felt trouble reacting to that one.
Which one?
Get up attack.
Oh, you can just crouch that one. Like, just if you just crouch next to it, it doesn't matter. Like, you don't have to have a good reaction. I would honestly just try to, like, cover the no-tech with, like, aerials and stuff, though, like, sooner. Like, I'd just attack where they're going to land some of the time. Because I think that a lot of times with you wait.
Yeah.
And, like, that works, but I think that just attacking... Like, there I would have just swung. I would have, like, down-tilted right away as soon as I saw him not tech. Yeah, so you see how he keeps like going off, like using the side platform to like edge cancel?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, body blocked him. That's sick. Ah, so you're wave dashing. What do you think? Why are you wave dashing forward after the F throw?
Yeah, it's something I actually have caught myself doing lately, and I think it's like an always thing for me. Like I'm just like kind of used to doing it. I think it might have been from like Falcon Tech chasing.
Makes sense. Yeah, because Marth doesn't have to do that. Marth can just attack. Like Marth can combo off of his F throw and stuff if they hold in. Like you can just like forward throw near them and forward throw fair them and stuff and forward throw F smash.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That was so shitty.
What? That the Shy Guys?
Yeah, just hit Shy Guys, fell on his face.
You know what? Getting our special moves ruined by Shy Guys is like a time-honored tradition of this game. like whether it's a Shy Guy like deciding to take the bullet for somebody versus Falco, or like, or the one that like cost Duck his set versus S2J. Like you know what? These are. The nonsense of the Shy Guys is like... The will of the Shy Guys is part of the game.
Boop.
I do like how you did the first up air. The first up air was really good. The second one, because he was so high up, I would have just short hopped it and just like had him fall into it or not fall into it. Like let him make the decision. Nice. Nice. See how like the up tilt forced him out of that specific zone and then like pushed him into the F smash?
Yeah, and he just had to be there.
Yep, that's Marth 101. That is like Marth the character. I did this thing, they had to go somewhere else, and then I did the other thing. See how like he thought he would up air, so then he like moved into the fair zone. Like, this probably feels a lot easier now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, this works versus every single character. Because all this is just using the sword effectively. The sword is guiding the opponent to where they want to die. They are choosing how they want to die based on what we're doing. And there's counterplay, like, he's not doing everything perfectly, so, like, there's still stuff he could do, but, like, I bet this makes way more sense.
Mm-hmm.
Lol. He was like, just
fucker.
She's just like, die! I'm so tired of getting hurt. Nice. Gorgeous.
Can we watch
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, he's... I can see why he is not engaging anymore.
Yeah, my god. The strength of the sword, though.
So what's... Okay, so for realsies, while the game is loading, what is it... what is the biggest change you notice from, like, using it in that way? Like, compared to how you were doing it before?
It feels like just way safer. Like I'm not really like trading or exchanging, or being hit nearly as much as I used to.
Why do you think that is?
The sword just covers me.
Right, but like, what is it? And it's not just. So, it's not a specific move that covers you, is it?
No.
It's when they work together as a team. That is when it's powerful, because Marth's individual moves are actually quite easy to beat. They're only out for like a split second. They're so they're susceptible to all manner of timing mix-ups. On top of that, they're not terribly strong, so like holding down is like a real problem for him. But it is the combination of them all working together, because he has some powerful swings on him. Like his down tilt is pretty good, like for its range versus ground game. If you tip it, his nair is consistently powerful on the second hit throughout. His down air just straight up denies ASDI down. Like he's got counterplay. It's just, if you're only doing one of his swings like over and over and over again perfectly, it doesn't matter because somebody can just beat that. They're flawed individually. It is the strength of them together that makes them strong. And I feel like before, you were probably just doing like, okay, this move is good here, I'm going to do this move. But now it's like, this move is good because of its relationship to the other moves around it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally different. So...
Yeah. And there's a more complete game plan. It's like, okay, well, this one isn't working, and like I can kind of see why. Like I sort of see like what they're catching on to, so I can add in this thing to make a more complete game plan.
Yeah, like the big one to me, like there were a bunch of really good examples in those matches, but the one that stands out to me is like the decision to tip her F smash after the up tilt. Because like that's just it's so obvious that's what's happening. So Jmook is kind of going off right. So now looking at this, Jmook is kind of doing his Jmook thing. Something I do think that Zain like starts to pull this one back. I think so. Am I right?
Are you screen sharing?
Oh wait, am I not? I am. Click the.
There it is.
Okay, yeah. Let me just see here. So how does this game go? Okay, so he gets 3 stock here. Let's not look at this one. Let's look at Yoshi's story. So, what stages do you like versus Sheik?
I like Yoshi's. I like Battlefield, and I like FD.
Okay. What about what are your thoughts on Pokemon?
Oh, that should be fine, especially Frozen.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, these are the things that I would expect. So let's look at like how Zain is like kind of doing this. So to start, he hits this very good, well-spaced fair, and then immediately gets out of there. So like this is kind of the type of play that like tends to be good versus Sheik. Anything that involves like poking her safely and then like moving out of the way of her counter hit to check for what she's doing tends to be quite strong. That one he was in the air a little longer, so it didn't work. So I'd say that like there's a lot of precision in attacking her in attacking her successfully, but you do kind of have to attack a little bit. What do you think about this dash attack that he does over here?
Yeah, I'm not really sure what he's fishing for, because it looks like he's just trying to send it to overshoot something.
Yeah, so like let's look at where Jmook is spacing. So I kind of think that Jmook is spacing around here, like this general area, and Zain's just kind of like working over here. So one of the things that's nice about Marth's dash attack in this kind of spot is it's actually pretty good versus jumps. Because like if Jmook jump like short hops, or like the air like short hops here, you'll see like the curve of, with where the curve of the blade goes, it kind of goes into the spot that Sheik occupies, right? So that I think is one thing he might be looking for. He might also be looking for like a walk forward or dash forward or walk forward wave dash back. I think those also both make like some amount of sense. So yeah, jump and wave dash back, I'd say are the two things he's looking for there.
Okay. But that's kind of how you set this sort of thing up.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying? It's like, you know, he's aware of the options that he has, like, in this place, and he's just kind of like sending something.
Exactly.
Really,
Like,
just as, like, an educated guess, right?
yeah, this is, of course it's an educated guess. It's an overshoot. Like, overshoots by definition have to be an educated guess because we're assuming the opponent is not coming forward a certain amount. Although the nice thing about Marth's dash attack is, again, it is a Marth move. It is disjointed, it's big. So Jmook actually did advance and it wound up working out. So this was I actually think it was like quite good. I think it was quite good in that coverage based on what they were both doing. I'm not sure that that'll work like every time, but I think if Sheik is showing jump and wave dash back, or like just generally small incremental spacings, it's not a bad thing to look at. No, it's not a bad move to explore. Covers that. Yeah. How do you find like the conversion that follows that dash attack is pretty interesting. What do you think you would normally do after hitting the dash attack here? I know Zain up airs, but what do you think you would go for?
I think I would also go for up air, but it looks like he's set up to cover more things. Like, he looks like he's in a position here where he could drift and hit a forward air if she techs left.
Yeah.
And then he's covered by the fact that the up air swing arc just travels that way.
Right.
Yeah, because he jumped through the character, so like he gave himself the option to hit tech left if it happened, but then he could just react and.
Yeah, because he's jumping from here and kind of going like this, right?
Yeah.
And then because Jmook techs here, he like cuts the jump early so that he can have better coverage on the up air. But no, that's exactly what's going on. Like, good eye. So how would you do, by comparison, how would you go for this normally? Because this is his fair. This is his fair, and this is his up air.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be that aware in the moment, and I'd probably just be looking for the fair, and then I would just play where I landed afterwards.
Gotcha. So really, it's the planning here that's like, it's kind of like the awareness to go from here and then like land in this area. That's really what makes this special.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we, like, what are the conditions we can use to summarize, like, what made this possible? Because I think, like, one of the things I'm trying to do more, that people have been saying have been helping, is focusing a little bit less on, like, the specifics of, like, the spacing, but just more, like, the general things that went into making this play work. So I'd say...
Yeah, like the decision-making of, like, how and why to go here.
Yeah, so I would say to start, what do you think some things that might generally come up that would be indicators for this working? Like, what would you say is a good starting point?
Sheik is traveling to that above platform space.
Yeah, so like the arc Sheik is traveling at. The arc Sheik moves gives time for setup. Because like it's really like if Zain had dash attack and she just immediately was here, like if she if her tech was like further along, Zain wouldn't be able to set up like something this elegant.
Yeah.
Ours travels at. Allows for setup. Yeah, because like it's really like the fact that she like got hit here, she got hit about here, and then kind of traveled like that. That's really what makes the magic happen. So we'll actually like represent that. So she got hit like here, went here, and that's when we're moving. So next, what's something else? I would say an easy one that's generally there that generally helps with determining moves. Percent. Percent is good for comboing. Because like if she was at 100, would we do this?
No.
Right. So percent is good. Good for combo. What's one more thing that we can think about? What's one more factor that we think matters? Is there another factor that you think matters? I can think of one more.
Okay.
This is like not one that you'd be able to get probably, but like it's because it's these two. So Jmook probably has the best survival DI and like defensive, like basically the best when it comes to like just living forever. Other than Amsa, Jmook is probably the next best person in the world at doing that. Like he Amsa techs to like 800% sometimes. It's crazy. So I think that like finishing early not good versus this player. So I would say that like player specific stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, no player info. Because these are characters, these are players that have fought each other a lot. So, like, Zain, like, there is, like, kind of, like, a Zain versus Jmook matchup that's also playing on here. And I think how that comes out is Zain understands that, like, trying to kill Jmook early is, like, not really, like, a goal, not really feasible in a lot of spots, just because of how precise he is with his, like, tech habits and his, survival DI. So he's just like, okay, we're just going to take the damage and move on with our day. I'm reasonably sure that was supposed to be a tipper forward smash, and he just messed up.
Yeah.
Notice how he doesn't let up at all. Like, he's not even affected by that. You see what I mean? He's like, okay, that happened, moving on.
Yeah, just go next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a killer. So, what do you think about these, like, fares he's doing in the edge from the edge to recover, like, afterwards, when Jmook gets back on stage? Like, what do you think of this fare?
I think it's a good fare.
What makes it good?
Well, he's stopping himself, or he's stopping Jmook from, like, occupying that space at all, which is, I'm assuming that he would want to do, like, kind of spot the counterattack.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's back here, he's actionable. It looks like he might be fishing for, like, a tilt.
Yep. Where is he drifting?
Backwards.
Right. So that's also, he's also adding space, so he's, like, not leaning forward at all, like, for Jmook to, like, prey off of that.
Yeah, he's just covering his own recovery and then, like, playing from there.
Yeah, he's not trying to hit Jmook because he knows he can't. So, like,
Yeah.
let's actually, how often do you get hit in this spot?
Oh, tons.
So let's actually, do you think this is something worth, like, taking then?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's figure out why this is good. We've already have 2 observations, so drifting back.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is a good fare. So good fare.
Yeah.
What makes it good? We have drifting back. So this, drift back. What else makes it good?
I guess it's like how low it is to the ledge.
Yeah, so like he
like
has
frame data wise, like this is over very quickly.
Yeah, so it's efficient. Like this is like the last frame of Marth's act. Like I think Marth's fair ended here on this frame, and then he lands 1 frame over that. So like I would say, how would we describe that? Would we be like so like here to here, downtime is like downtime between hitbox, downtime between swing, and landing is low. Yeah, so I think that swing and landing is low. Landing low. So once I can think of one more thing that we called out earlier, I'd say not trying to hit Jmook.
Yeah.
Because this is
he's
really
doing
big.
this to he's doing this to cover his landing. He's not trying to hit and convert.
Yeah, fair. Because a lot of times we try to do too many things with one play. Fair is only guarding landing. Or guarding recovery. Because I have a feeling, because everyone does this, even me, except for Zain, apparently, because, well, top player, best player in the world. I try to hit people from here way too much.
Yeah.
And it is bad. Don't be like me, be like Zain. So now we have like a whole bunch of things that we can work with for like understanding why what he's doing is good. So like this fair fulfill, and like it's also a good based on the function of where Jmook is positioned. Because I don't know if Zain would necessarily do his fair, like do a fair like this if Jmook was closer. But it is because he's at that distance that he can like actually like prioritize his goals this way. What is he? How does he get the kill? Just like a back air, right?
Back air, and yeah, I think he just babysits him a little bit afterwards.
Yeah. So like, how often? Like, what do you think? Like, how often would you say you hit this edge guard flawlessly?
Not very often.
So let's talk about this one, because I think this is a very common position that happens literally all the time.
Yeah.
So my question here is, like Jmook has his jump. What does Marth have to do here? Like what are Marth? What is the bet? How can Marth kind of like? How does Marth want to operate, knowing that Sheik has her jump?
Just wait and be patient. Like threaten the space. I think like he's doing. Like he's standing right where the forward smash would tip her.
Yeah. So at what point do we pull the trigger on that?
I guess you have to like wait and see something.
Okay, so where is falling to the edge considered waiting and seeing? Like, at what point, where does Sheik have to be for us to consider, like, for us to pull the trigger on hitting her? Like, how far does she have to fall before we're willing to hit her? Because she can make it to the edge, right? Like, she can just fall here?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So that's what I'm asking. Like, what I'm asking is how far between here and here does Jmook have to fall before Marth, like, decides to do something? And what does he do? Like this is kind of the space she travels through, roughly. Yeah. So I'm asking, where do we decide in here what we on our play?
Well, let's see. I guess if she drifts into that space on that line, where I'm kind of looking like right at about the height of his neck.
Okay, so like here.
Well, because at that point, the forward smash would likely cover a double jump or like a fastball to the ledge as well, right?
Do we necessarily want to forward smash?
Ah, yes. Okay, I see.
Because, like, I agree with you. I think this is the right spot. I'm just wondering what move, if we necessarily want to commit to forward smash. Because I feel like with forward smash being one of our slower moves and one of our laggier moves, if she falls here, couldn't she fast fall?
Yep.
And possibly get under it, and then recover up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So so again, it's not the play. I think the timing is right. I think the move selection is what I'm questioning.
Okay, fair.
We're turned around though. Are you saying we turn around?
Yeah.
Okay. So we turn around this way and then we fair, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yep. That could work. I could see it. Like, we kind of have to, like, dash jump, sort of, or, like, we either have to run off here or we have to dash jump, like, to hit here. But, yeah, that could totally work. I like that, too. What I kind of like as well is back air. Because I actually don't see the fact that we're turned around as being a problem, because our back air swings up like this. And if we short hop it, we can totally get her. And it also still kind of covers where her jump is going with the top half, right?
Yeah.
Because it swings down up.
Yeah, I've been very surprised by how high that thing hits, actually.
Yeah, so, like, we cover, like, this space with back air. Like, we don't know... what I also like about it is that we can just kind of, like, short hop here. Like, at this point, when she gets to about here, like, this height, we can kind of, like, short hop and then just, like, reactively back air, you know what I mean? And we still have the option to grab the edge in case she goes there.
Yeah.
And we can also double jump back air if she just jumps upwards. So, like, we're just, like, kind of, like, able to cover... Like, if she jumps away or something, we can actually, like, double jump back here. So we have, like, our good reaction point with short hop here. Yeah, and we're Like, yeah, I think that I would actually, like, favor back air just because the way that it swings covers more relevant areas first.
Mm-hmm.
It also only hits sideways, so we don't there's no risk of us accidentally launching her and then having to deal with a high recovery where she just goes here.
Mm-hmm.
So... I think we're on back... I think we can agree we're on back air train, right?
Yep.
So what makes back air good? Let's formalize this.
Okay. Huge coverage.
Yep, covers the important area.
Yeah. It has a very unique kind of like travel arc too, that downward up.
Yeah, so covers the key areas in order.
Mm-hmm.
Because they, like, in order, I think is, like, really, what, like, its selling point here is. Because it also, I would say, only hits sideways.
Mm-hmm.
Side, always. Whereas, like, fair can, like, launch her, and then, like, we have to deal with things. The other thing that's nice is we don't have to change our... We don't have to, like, really... we don't have to adjust our footing for it, whether she goes up or whether she goes here or here. Because, like, the same short hop into double jump covers both of these, either way. So we don't have to, don't need to change footing. Like, we're also able to do it from our walk away, too, so don't need to adjust. Simple. Simple, yeah. Like, simple setup. And is there anything else we need to think about here, or do you think that's it? Because I think that back air is just, like, is perfect here. I think this is about it, right? I guess percentage, because, like, it does kill her. Percent is good. Is good for KO. Yeah, because percent is you'll find that percent almost always rears its head when it comes to these analyses. But this is also kind of how you, like, build percent knowledge. Because, like, yeah, you're just working with it so much when you do these. Okay, this is, like, me nerding here, but, like, that weight on the up tilt. Like, he doesn't push a button at all.
Mm-hmm.
How often would you say you push a button here?
On up tilt, every single time.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
Yeah, that hit me.
Mm-hmm. And, like, look at how, like, again, like, he still probably is gonna die here. But like, oh, Shy Guy, let's go. Screwing up characters' edge guards. And he still gets it, of course he does. Let's actually compare this. So, once again, you know, funnily enough, he actually does the same fair.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he still drifts, even though Jmook is like 1.5 miles away from him, he still drifts back. See what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah. What you'll find about top players is that they do a lot of the same moves a lot in situations like that. They don't actually, like, vary their gameplay nearly as much as people say, because, like, if it works, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the spots that they vary their gameplay are the spots people tend to think they don't, and vice versa. Which is kind of, like, I think part of, like, I mean, like, all good warfare is based on deception, so fine. But, like, yeah, even here, like, you'll notice...
How did he do that?
How did he do what?
There's, like, a strange pivot where he just ended up standing still.
Oh, it's probably an empty pivot. But I want to point something out here. So you know how we talked about how, like, Marth's up air has, like, less range in front of him, but, like, also has better frame advantage on shield, right?
Yeah.
That is fair?
Yeah.
Look what he goes for here. Like, it's the up... He goes for up air here for that exact reason, because he knows that, like, when he sees Jmook shielding when he's coming up, or... I guess he didn't really see the shield. Like, he was already committed to it. But, like, with how close Jmook is... Or actually, no.
Yeah.
He did
might
have...
just be an on-the-fly adjustment. Like, maybe he's
Yeah.
giving him the benefit of the doubt a little bit. He showed fair there a couple of times.
Yeah, and actually, I do think he did see the shield. Like, now that I play it, like, when I slow it down, yeah, he did. Like, because, here, he just missed the forward tilt, so it's unlikely that Jmook can run away super quickly. And then as soon as he sees the bubble, like, yeah, he's probably, like, immediately, that's when he decides, because he's already over the ledge, boom. And then he empty pivots to get outside of the shield grab range. So, like, this was an empty pivot. Like, that's what this movement is. It's kind of like...
That's crazy.
Zain has unreal movement. Like, this deals with whatever like narrative shield or like shield grab or whatever that Jmook might imagine, or fair to shield that Jmook might imagine hitting him with. This like makes sure that none of that ever happens. It's so perfect. But what I'm getting at here is that, like, this up air, I think, is a really good adjustment on the like a really good on the fly adjustment, like as you pointed out, to like this shield being here. Because if he had fared, he wouldn't be nearly as safe. Because he's gonna weak hit, he's gonna have to drift back. Like, it's just not nearly as clean. But this up air is perfect. Yeah, so I would say, like, I'm not gonna, like, I don't want us to spend as much time on this one, but I kind of think that, like, this being an up air spot is something that we should, like, consider, is something that we should, like, grab. Because it's just, like, it's not a small thing, we don't have to, like, make a whole thing for it, but, like, yeah, just up air here. I'll make a note of that. Up air. Because close.
Because close.
Yep. Close and, well, and because shielding, really. But I think that you'll get, like, I think if you see the picture, you'll get it. Now, let's talk about, let's see what else we can find. I forget how good Jmook is sometimes. I would say that if there's one criticism I have of Zain in this, I think he's relying a little too much on being perfect for how he's engaging Jmook's crouch. Like, this here, this to me felt a little ambitious. Like, he didn't even, like, he can also see that he's crouching. Like, to me, this is a spot where you down air. Or that you empty land and, like, go from there. I think that he's swinging a little too much on them, but I also understand that, like, it's hard to, like, do everything perfectly, and I just saw him dare there, so maybe he's trying to, like, manually make the adjustment. I don't know. But, yeah, it's the only thing about his play so far that I've been like, that feels a little dicey, or, like, a little weird. Like, swinging at weird points.
Mm-hmm.
But then he just, like, reversals him and kills him. So, like, you know what? What do I know? Clearly not as much. What do you think about... He's nared out of the corner a couple times now. What do you think he's, like... What do you think makes this nair good?
Well, it's just what he's shown already, I think.
What usually goes wrong when Marth nairs out of the corner like this?
Gets crouch canceled, hit away by something.
Yeah. A lot
or
of
just
times...
gets, like dash dance grabbed. Like you whiff punish it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, there's actually something going on here that's, like, causing this to be a little bit better than it usually is.
Mm-hmm.
The slope.
Oh.
Because think about it, he's starting it from a lower starting point, right?
Right.
So, like...
So he's able to hit
sooner.
A little lower on the character model, yeah. Sooner, yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the fastball, he just goes from takeoff.
Right, so, like, that's the thing that's, like, crazy. So, like, his nair hitbox is really, like, normally it would be, like, if he was starting, like, his first nair hitbox probably hits, like, here one going up. But because of the slope, and where he started it, it's probably hitting more like here.
Yeah.
Which is, like, it's a small difference, because it's just the difference between this, like, this being here and being here. But it actually does matter quite a bit. Because, like, that height is very meaningful. Because, yeah, we were starting here versus there. So I would say that this is another thing to consider. Like, the slope lowers the character. Slope lowers aerials. Aerials in this going this way. And it also causes them to hit later going the opposite way, right? So, like, it also works in reverse. But works, like, works in reverse. So, like, things hit here, coming from this side, hit later. So it's like, there's actually, like, one of the things about Yoshi's story that I think gets understated, like, stuff like up tilt on Marth. That's part of why it's so good, like, in this kind of spot. You see what I mean? Because, like, if you're here... and then you're swinging like that with up tilt, like, it just kind of, like, covers your whole... like, it covers your whole body, like, actually more effectively in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
That was a phenomenal reversal. Oh my god. I forgot about that. What do you think of his recovery here?
Zane's?
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I mean, like, that hit with the up B was, like, kind of brilliant.
The up B hit was brilliant, and then the timing afterwards to, like... So this is brilliant when he sees Jmook, like, messes that up. And then I think when he gets up is really good. And then that sour spot up tilt, like, on the next one, it was, like, genius. I honestly think, like, I think he gets the kill in a lot of spots if he actually hits that back air. Like, the way he wanted to. I think he played that, like, phenomenally well. Are you finding this helpful?
Yep.
Okay. What's something that what's is anything standing out in terms of that and what we're covering? Like, what yeah, talk to me.
I'm not sure if I have, like, too many things that I can kind of apply broadly just yet.
Okay. Why not? So what is something? So I can think of a few things that are pretty broadly applicable.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say are so what are things that are not broadly like? What's something that you could? So what are the types of things that you're looking for? I guess that would be more broadly applicable.
Mm-hmm. Like, the ways that he wants to kind of, like, wall out this character.
Okay.
Yeah.
So neutral.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can focus on that. One of the things I'd say that's definitely broadly applicable is their ledge recovery stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that to me is to me that's a big one. That said, we can...
Yeah, I really like the way he's played out of the corner. Like, he seems extremely comfortable there.
Yeah, like, look at this. He's not, like, he gets hit here, he sees them, and look, so let's actually look at this nair. What makes this nair work? So when he chooses to come up here, where does he time the first hit to connect?
Like, yeah, intersecting her torso.
What side of her is she on? Is he on?
Oh, yeah, he's crossing her up, trying to knock her off the other way.
Yep. And what happens if, because he's now crossed her up, what happens if she CC like down smashes him?
He gets to live.
Yeah. So I would say that, like, what are the factors that allowed this nair to work?
The Sheik was in a move, so she was in, like, end lag of down smash.
Yep.
And sitting right on the very tippy tip of the stage.
Yep, Sheik committed. So Sheik was committed. Because, like, this could be a spot dodge that you react to as you're coming up. This could be, like, she's shielding. It doesn't really matter, but she's committed in some way. And Sheik is close enough to cross up. Sheik can be crossed up. And then the last one would be, is there anything else that matters? Or do you think those are the two big ingredients for the snare?
Yeah, I think those are the two main ingredients. Like, percent does matter, I guess, like, you know, for what your follow-up is going to be, but
it doesn't really matter for good. Yeah, but that's not why it's good.
It's good. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm actually really glad you spotted that. This is actually one of the rare cases where the percent of Sheik doesn't actually matter all that much.
No.
Wonderful. Glad you caught that. So, compared to what you were doing previously in terms of, like, our recovery options, how would you say, like, this compare? Like, do you have confidence that you'd be able to, like, implement some of these? And, like, how are you feeling over? Because this works in every matchup.
Mm-hmm. I do feel confident that I can put that in because, like, I feel like I already do that nair, just not necessarily for all of those reasons. It's like when they're kind of, like, in that space, it just looks very tantalizing, I guess.
Yeah, it looks tempting. It's just like, I just want it. I want it so bad.
Yeah, but being that much more aware of, like, what the cross-up rewards, though.
Right, and it's the committed plus the cross-up that, like, really makes this work. Because if she's committed and she was further away, for example, and we can't cross her up, we probably take a different hit. We probably just, like, up air or something instead.
Yeah.
So let's now we'll focus on the neutral here. So how he chooses to keep him out. So why do you think he's doing these? Why do you think he's going for nair? Because you've probably noticed that he's going for nair quite a bit at, like, low percent. Because I feel like a lot of times people are like, no, don't nair versus Sheik for some reason. But, like, he's doing it a lot. And I feel like they can't all be accidents, you know? There he goes again.
Yeah, is it just, like, the space coverage? Or, like, that hitbox? Because we like that, and how fast he can move after it?
Yes. So let's watch these one at a time. So first one that's coming up. So what happens so he has the first swing already kind of, like, gone, and then he comes down with the next one, which is, like, the more powerful hit, right? He misses his fast fall, but let's assume he gets, like, even without getting it, like, what's nice about nair in this kind of spot is it's his most powerful aerial other than his down air, it's his most powerful aerial at low percent. By far. Like, nair's knockdown percent is, like, 20-ish lower than every other aerial. So, because of that, even if Sheik is, like, ASDIing down, she still gets pushed away a little bit. Like, maybe she doesn't get pushed away far, but she gets pushed away to, like, here. That still gives us, like, some breathing room for him to then, like, move out of the way and get his next hit going. So I would say the knockback is really valuable. That's, like, the first thing I would point out. Second one, the amount of time between the hits. Like, let's say you wanted to control space for a little bit longer. Because, again, Marth's weakness... What's Marth's one of his big weaknesses? It's that his moves aren't out for very long, right? But nair, like, the amount of time between his nair swings is much tighter than the amount of time between, like, say, double fair. Yeah. So let's, like, why nair? So let's figure that out. So we've already nair has less time. No, Nair is strong. Nair 2 is strong, because like Nair 1 is not strong, but Nair 2 is strong. And then I would say that no, it's not really like low, it's a small gap between hits. Small gap between hitboxes. No, between hit 1, 2, between 1 and 2. Nair 1, 2. And this gives it, like, this allows you to kind of cover the air with, like, the first hit and cover the second, like, cover the ground with the second. Because that's kind of how he's setting this up. Because if she jumps, she moves into him, and then when she's on the ground, he's coming down on her.
Yeah, yes. And the extra strength of the move, like the knockback and then the hits then, like, is this an adjustment, do you think, from, like, the fairs that were being crouch canceled before?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Covers air, Nair 2 for ground. Nair 2, ground. Because, like, Nair 2, you need the power in order to push them back. Because, like, Nair would... If she gets hit on the ground here, Nair pushes her like this. It's not a ton of distance, but it's a little bit. Fair just keeps her in place, because Fair's a launcher. She moves like this. If that. Like, this is nothing. So, I would also... One last thing I would say... auto-cancel. AC versus L-cancel. So, like, Nair, like, if he was fairing instead, fair is 7 on landing. Nair is 4.
Right.
So it's just more efficient overall. So it covers, like, it has a relevant hitbox. It has its hitboxes more tightly together, covering its space, like the space around him, for a, air quotes, longer period. It's also safer on hit, and it leads to more stuff if he hits it from the air. Like here, I think he gets a combo off it, or yeah, see what I mean? Like, I think he messes it up, but like that could have easily been big. That could have easily been big damage.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if he had dash, jump, short op, like falling, tipped faired here to just like cover this zone, right?
Yep.
That's so money. Fair would not give you some, like, I don't think Fair would give you something like that, because it's just it's so much weaker in the early game in terms of, like, it's not, I like, it's still good, like, it's still really good, but, like, it's not, it has more, it just doesn't have as much stun. He's so locked in. I'm just looking at his expression here and there, and I'm like, wow.
It's hilarious watching player camps in slow motion.
That was pretty sick. But more neutral we'll keep the focus neutral. So, we've got grabs going on. That's kind of, I think, obvious. In terms of what he starts walling him out with, I think that there's a point where he starts switching more to fairs. Like, I think there's a point where he starts looking for more fairs compared to like compared to nairs, and I think it's a function of percent. Like, that's like the big thing I notice. Yeah, see, like, this is what I mean. I'd also point out he doesn't swing like, once he's like swinging, he doesn't always stay swinging here.
Yeah, his mix-ups off his platform, like, shenanigans have been really, really interesting to look at.
Yeah, so let's break down what he's doing with some of these. So he gets this situation. So in this spot, what do you think that he's trying to do with this? So he has this down air here.
Yeah, he's covering his feet with a down air and letting the platform cancel it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like any chance at a counterattack, he's taking that away and keeping himself safe.
And then he's like getting rid of all the end lag. So this would be another way that he can wall. And the cool thing about this down air is it's not really percent dependent. Like, what you go for like changes, but like really the main ingredient here is he has the time to set it up.
Yeah.
So he's on platform, so that would be like the big thing. Time to set up. No, time to set up. And I would say that Sheik below him. So it's time to set up, Sheik below.
Yeah, and this is kind of like his secondary too. Like, this is like his contingency plan.
Yeah.
Right? He dropped off the top platform to fair and it missed, and so that left Sheik below him, and then he was just ready to rock with this option.
Yeah, so it's like he like kind of like set up, set up with fair. So fair set up, fair from top plat. Top plat is like Set up. And then, like, the thing is, this means that he's chasing, so he's the attacker here.
Mm-hmm.
So he's attacker. So he is the attacker.
But he's pushing it from a position that is, like, generally not great.
Yeah, because he's guiding him to, like, a position that he can work with more easily.
Yeah.
So the goal is the goal to hit him?
No.
So what is the goal?
Get down safe.
Yeah, while doing what to Sheik?
While just holding her back, walling her out.
Yeah, move Sheik into the ground. No, move Sheik into ground v ground.
Mm-hmm.
GVG. Because, yeah, like, this is exactly how... Like, Marth doesn't want to... Like, if Marth and Sheik fight in the platforms, Sheik is going to clobber that man every single time.
Yeah.
Maybe not every time, but, like, his shield drop fair is admittedly quite good. But, like, in the long run, she's expected to win that, like, about 9 to 8 times out of 10. Marth wants absolutely nothing to do with something like that, as any good character would. So then he creates this.
Yeah, which is crazy. They set up a tomahawk off that.
That's
got to be some like matchup stuff specifically between them, right?
Honestly, I actually think the like, maybe this is just me being like, this is probably a matter of perspective, but I feel like the tomahawk is the least like crazy part of this, weirdly enough, because because Jmook has been like what do you do about? So if somebody like edge can't like Matt, let's suppose this down air hits his shield. Like, it doesn't actually hit his shield, but like my question is like, if this down air was to hypothetically hit Jmook's shield, you know, like I feel like he's expecting the next hit to come through immediately. It doesn't because Jmook is rolling, so I feel like after the roll, Jmook also knows that Zain's actionable, so he's expecting the next hit to come. So because he's just doing these like very like, I'm gonna like wait and see what happens kinds of plays, like Zain's just like, okay, fine.
And I'll just grab.
Yeah, because I would think he'd do that versus a lot of people.
He has. I feel like he has represented that a couple times, like already this game.
Mm-hmm.
Like he did something off the platform, or he like edge canceled some move and then came down with an aerial already.
Yeah, and I feel like this is cool.
Yeah, this is insane. Next level.
So what were you pointing out though?
Well, just that he'd done like that ledge cancel into like another aerial to keep himself covered like a few times. Like he'd already shown Jmook that he would do it, and so I think he's like kind of caught on to the adaptation already.
For sure.
Like he's respecting the second aerial, so he knows that he can get away with something else.
Absolutely. So something I want to point out, because this fits into the walling the walling side of the matchup, believe it or not. If Zain fares here, he's going to lose, right? Because like Jmook, with how they're like drifting, like let's go to the starting point. So look at how like Jmook is already in the air at the time that like Zain jumps up. So Sheik is gonna have her move out like way ahead of his time, like way ahead of his. So knowing that, this is what like what does he do? Like how does he do the double jump?
I'm guessing it's gonna be backwards.
It's in close. It's in place.
In place, yeah.
Because then you see like how it just misses where he was.
Yeah.
So this is an important concept with Marth in general, because Marth lives or dies by his like spacing and his positioning game. So it's really important to understand that like you're not actually committed to your direction, even when you're traveling up in your jump like this. You're not actually really committed to your direction. Not really, because you can change, like you have the option to drift back, which wouldn't have gotten him out of here in time. But this is why he does the double jump in place, because really what he's like, double J neutral. Because like the big thing about how Jmook is doing this is that Jmook is basically set up his jump to kind of do this, and that gives his fair coverage on where Zain is going. But Zain is like wisely determining that like it makes no sense for me to like go into this spot where Sheik is super strong. I'm gonna get out of here and then like outmaneuver him. And that's exactly what he does. And then by doing so, this is how you break up your wall, and this is one of the big ways that you break up your wall and add variety to your game, because he's previously just kind of like coming forward and like covering fairs in these kinds of zones, and Jmook is making a timing call out. So then what Zain is doing is, okay, I think this guy is probably going to do a timing call out at some point. So instead of like playing into that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretend I'm interested in doing one. And then I'm going to go up here and outmaneuver him once I confirm the jump. Because Sheik doesn't have tons of air mobility. It's one of her big weaknesses. Like, for her to cover this, she has to commit her double jump. She has to do something else. And that's not good. Like, because imagine double jumping up here with Sheik, right? Like, this makes no sense. So I would say a big thing here is, like, understanding Marth, when Marth is not aligned properly with his opponent, you really have to be thinking about, like, what movement, like, what other things can I do to get out of here? Because you don't really want to confront this head on and just, like, take the hit. So I would say this is a big thing. Because this also applies to, like, this could also apply to a fox naring at you. Like, if Fox is coming in like this, right? And you're, like, happen to be, or, like, I guess he'd be, like, a little higher, maybe like that. But, like, you see what I mean, right? If he's coming in, like, at this kind of trajectory and you're lined up to, like, just get hit by him, well, do you have to? Like, because, again, we can just head over. Anytime that they're at this kind of arc and they're lined up to hit you, you don't, bailing out like this should be a consideration. So double jump wave land, no, double jump wave land. And the big thing here is this has to be back or neutral. Neutral is often good enough. Like, with good timing, neutral is often, like, just fine for this. But, like, yeah, just don't do forward. Whatever you do, don't do forward. Generally speaking. What do you think of that light shield?
Can you go back?
Yeah. So, like, let's see what happens.
Goes to tops, it's a blade shield.
That was so good.
Yeah. Well, it's great. He just keeps himself safe, right? Yeah. If anything touches that shield, he falls forward. And he's actionable as soon as he comes up the platform.
And I really like that it's like, because Jmook doesn't have, like, so are there characters where this would be like, where this would be worse against? Would this work as well versus Fox?
Well, yeah, I feel like that specific position, like, you might be in a place where, like, the 2 hits of up air push him off and then hit him.
Does Sheik have aerials that hit twice?
Nope.
Okay, so that's, like, probably pretty important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what I'm getting at. Like, so this works. This works, because this is what sets up, this is an important part, this is a part of his neutral wall, believe it or not, because, like, this is what gives him the ability to go here. So, like, this light shield, this light shield, Sheik does not have Sheik can't can't do push-offs. Push-off punishes. Push-off punish with multi-hit. There is technically one thing that I think Jmook could do, but I don't think it's good. It's full hop. It's basically you have to do, like, you short hop here or full hop here, and then you kind of double jump up with needles and push him and then auto cancel, like, and then shield drop fair immediately after. But, like, I feel like no Sheik in the universe is going to do that, because even though you can, just because you can doesn't necessarily mean you should. Like, you're wasting a lot of resources by doing that. And he doesn't even have full needles. What? Are you kidding me? Oh, wait, right, because he respawned. Okay, never mind. Yeah, never mind. That doesn't work. So, let's see here. And then from that position, like, you can see how it's the ability to go from the top platform to the side platform, though, that kind of, like, is what makes this play work, though. Because then from going here, he's then able to bait Jmook.
Yeah.
And set up that counter hit. So, one thing I'd also point out here is how often do you see Marth players, like, short hop above, like, Sheik? Above Sheik's short hop on these platforms, right? Probably not very often, but this is this is another way you can outspace her jumps.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes above. So that's another thing, like, short hopping above that, like, short hopping here above, like, short hopping on side platform above Sheik short hop, like, this is, like, yeah, this is quite.
That's juicy.
That's money. This is money. Like, short hop, no short hop above hers. It's, like, risky, but, like, again, like, I think that the thing that makes this work partly is that he showed his shield for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Because by showing the shield for just that split second, it kind of, like, cues her to, like, do... Not, like, you would never full hop back air Marth's shield. So, like, the light shield flash... encourage, like, kind of, like, encourages not full hop.
Yeah.
Encourages short hop over full hop. Short hop instead of full hop, vs full hop. And the thing is, like, you can also, if you figure out that they can't short hop or something, like, if you do stuff like this and they keep doing full hop, you can just, like, you just don't jump there. Like, you just let them do their thing. And then counter hit after. Because it's fine. Let them do, if they want to do it, they can do it. He also shields facing off of edges, like, quite a bit. Like, over here. Like, look at that. Just gets right back into fighting stance. He's willing to crouch versus her a lot. Like, he's willing to not swing. I think the big thing here is he's willing to not swing. He's willing to find other solutions.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think I just realized what part of why he does that dash attack in some of these spots where I'd normally expect F smash.
He's looking for an action out of the shield?
It's just that it's not unsafe to shield. Like, Jmook can't punish him with wave dash out of shield grab if this happens on the back.
Mm-hmm.
There's not enough cooldown. He'd have to, like, narrow to shield or something, and he doesn't really want to take, like, he'd have to narrow to shield basically.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, substantially less bad than donating a grab to Sheik. So we've been analyzing for a while. Do you want to continue with this, or where are you at, basically?
I want to see if I can apply some of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense. So, let's kind of summarize here. So we'll do it, we'll write down some takeaways now. I would say that, like, one of the big ones is, narrowing at low percents is big. Narrowing at low percents in the wall. And the wall is strong. At mid percents up, fair becomes more valuable.
Yeah.
Yeah. More.
This is, like, assuming that we're both fighting grounded, though.
Yeah. Because, like, narrowing at low percents in the walls is strong, if available. Fair and up air are better at, if the opponent's just jumping around into the air versus Marth, like, really high, then yeah, fair is, like, much better. Like, fair and up tilt, up air, like, you can switch to those pretty comfortably, but generally people probably won't do that. But yeah, if they do, then go for it. Yeah. What else? We would say let light shield at the edge of side platform, at the edge of surfaces, really. Surfaces facing off, and to set up for, set up for short hop baits above jumps, or platform or dare edge cancels. Like, those are big. What else did we notice? We also pointed out that we had a bunch of stuff about ledge recovery so I'll just summarize as, like, ledge options, ledge options, fair versus up air versus nair, evaluate conditions. Then the other big one is, back air back air on stage edge, like on stage back air edge guard. I think that one was also a big thing.
Yeah.
And dash attack. Dash attack seems a lot better. No, dash attack, especially when overshoot, especially when opponent facing away. Facing away, it is safer in a lot of spots than F smash. Yeah. So I would say that this is what I noticed. Is there anything else you want to, like, add here or call attention to?
No.
Perfect. No. Let's get cracking then.
Alrighty.
And just remember to screen share so I can see.
Okay.
I hope we get a Sheik.
Me too.
Although, honestly, like, the narrowing at low percents thing is, like, honestly true for, like, basically every matchup for all of his matchups.
Mhm.
Like, I'm trying to think of who I wouldn't nair against. I can't think of anyone. It's one of the nice things about this character, like, unironically. The fact that he kind of does... I guess Pichu, maybe? Yeah, Falcon definitely fits the bill. A lot of this will work versus Falcon. The aerial's tech chase thing was, I think, is actually important. Evaluating time to set up coverage with aerials when after hitting onto side/top plat. Oh, what the heck just happened?
Good. I don't know. Dropped to 6 FPS. Holy.
Is that them or probably them?
I think so. I don't know a situation where I would have over 7,000 ping.
Let's just play someone else.
I'm gonna try Darren and then we'll leave.
Sure.
Yeah, holy. Alright.
Yeah, 4,000 ping. What the heck?
So lag spiked and all lag spikes.
Honestly, I'm amazed the game still ran. Not a horse. So you see how you like fared her. So you see how that fair like hit you, and like so you hit the fair, and then like she was able to nair out of it by DIing in. What I would something I would point out is if you had nared her instead a second time, no way she like I don't know if it would have hit in that angle, but there's no way if it did hit that she'd be able to do that. Now that she's higher up, though, like it makes more sense to go for fair because
she's above me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you have enough stun for it to work. One thing we might want to consider is crouch power shielding.
Yeah. Oops.
I actually like that, even though that was punishable, I like that you just reset to neutral.
Yeah, it was kind of like an awkward space there. Like, I didn't like the fact that it was back turned, I think.
Mm-hmm. Are you worried about the beam?
Yep.
Don't be. Just fight her.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, like, you'll lose all the... you won't be able to play... like, if you force her to B and then, like, you hit her out of it, she's going to lose it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. See, like, by putting pressure on her, you're able to, like, just, like, make her use the beam on your terms, like, a lot more. Because she knows she's going to lose it eventually, like, if she has to recover. Probably. So, yeah, just, like, yeah. Make her, like, have to think about things. Nice.
Oops, spread a ferret.
Nice, that was perfect. Try nairing through. Try nairing.
Try to hit it.
That's okay. Nice. I think that she has one more hit in her. So with back air, you usually want to be below the opponent when you're coming up. So like the idea is that like you're hitting, if they fall into it, they get hit by the bottom, and if they like jump or something, they get hit by the top.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Try forward throw nair instead of fair.
Okay. With a full jump?
With short up.
Okay.
Although honestly, if you mess it up in the full hop,
Whoops.
like nobody, you know, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Dead Samus. Shielding too much.
Mm-hmm.
So on that downer, you went for up tilt, right?
Yep.
Okay. I would say next time, turn around grab. Because you didn't have enough time for up tilt. When she's falling away from the platforms as well, that's the type of spot where I think Zain was going for like dash attack on Jmook, because like you see how she's like falling down from the air, like dash attack hits a little above, and it's like easier to go for than forward smash. It also hits like pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Oh, you had it. Right idea, though.
Yeah, I pulled the trigger a little too early.
But, like, the plan was perfect. Like, the way that you set that up was really is the part that matters to me.
Mm-hmm.
That back air was beautiful. There we go. Nice bait. Nice baby set. You look more comfortable with him.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Nice. I like that backer. Ah, yeah. The plan was good. The plan was good. Yeah. We just like kind of like fumbled, I think, on the drift a little bit, but the plan that was survivable, and like the plan of going out there was solid. Yeah. Good job refreshing. like the float side B thing, by like getting up. Actually, technically didn't because you nilled. That's interesting. I did not realize that didn't do that. That's cool. So it actually does read land. I guess it makes sense because it wouldn't count it as a landing. Huh. I learned something today.
Oops.
Beautiful.
Nope.
It's okay. She's just doing like she's not doing any damage to you with those. Like she's just doing like 8 damage. Like you're already at a point where everything kills you anyway. Nice.
All right, let's go. Big win. Damn it! I already know. I already know.
No, I'm not gonna say. Oh my god! Like it doesn't matter. We had the best recovery of all time.
Ugh. No, I tried to grab the ledge.
That was really well played.
Ah,
For what it's worth, you played that really well.
thank you.
I was very impressed with how you were like applying things, and to be fair, forward throw nair is not actually that easy because you have to. It is an advancing nair that's done quickly. So like out of a throw. So yeah. So I would say that a lot of the things that we looked at definitely applied to this bitch. Like this goofy little girl, this lovely creature.
Monster.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. I love that neutral B. What made you decide to do it?
I was watching the shield get low.
Hmm.
And I thought she was gonna land on the platform and shield.
That's interesting. I don't think I would have made that call, but like it makes sense. Like with what you've just. Oh, that was a tipper.
Yeah.
That pound was definitely a tipper. Nice use of the nair to like hit the shield at the edge. Kill. Yeah. Oh, no, she has one more in her.
Oh, I didn't think she'd grab me there.
Easy clap.
Ah!
Love it. Good recognition on the up air. Because, yeah, she's at 150. She dies off the top. Like, other stuff probably doesn't kill her. So, and she's in the spot. So just take the up air. You can see how he can just bully her, right?
Yeah. She can't get down.
Yeah, like, this is something I feel like that wasn't really something we looked for in the past. But now now that you've gotten stronger, like, yeah, it's just easy. Interesting. So with spacing Tipper quickly, what do you think are some ways you can do it? Because I think that walking...
Oh, you're gonna say roll, aren't you?
Oh, God, no.
Okay.
I was gonna say, like, just get used to walking or, like, doing a short wave dash. If you need to do it quickly. Short wave dash, I think, is quite good. Walking, I think, is also good. Oh, Fox now. Let's go.
I knew it. Oop.
Is that supposed to be F smash?
I think so. I don't remember exactly, though.
I would just say, like, F smashing with the C stick is just generally how I'd recommend doing it. Because that helps a lot with precision, because it means you don't have like a walking forward input ever, or like part of a dash forward input, like messing you up.
Oh dear.
Okay, that's good by him. Like, the back air was quite good. I saw you do, like, pull back on the fair. Like, yeah, it didn't come out, but I saw that you were trying to, like, the execution we talked about. It's good. Oh, if only all my learners would be so willing to, like, try things. No, I think I have a good bunch. Like, unironically. See how that was, like, awkward? Like, see how that was kind of awkward after this, when you hopped up for the second fair? So what I would say here is a big thing with Marth is, like, kind of like figuring out how you can do your aerials while falling, like, as much as possible. So you don't want to, like, jump more than you need to. So, like, one way that you might have done that with that fair is short hop into instant double jump. Or, like, short hop into immediate double jump and then kind of push him forward with the double jump fair, right? Because then it's not quite as high as a full hop. It's kind of like in between the two distances. So then you can just kind of like push him forward with one soft fair, and then, yeah, keep going from there. Because you can see, even if you knock him over, even if you don't get, like, if he gets knocked over when you do single jumps, like, or like single affairs and then land quickly, you can still get the tech chase. You can still get the pick up. But if they do that and you're still going up, you can't really do anything about it at that point.
Right.
Okay. At this percent with this lead, I would consider up tilting him if he's, like, above you like that.
Yeah. Oops.
Gorgeous. We have one more game in us.
Yeah.
Maybe two. But I think probably one of them will like kind of like figure out what to do going, like what next, or like, yeah. So we jumped into that. Okay, fair enough. That happens sometimes.
Oops.
Nice.
Oh, I missed the double jump.
Oh, I thought you were trying to. I thought you were trying to hit him with the B when you kept falling, like the back end of it. Ooh, nice crouch cancel on the platform.
I'm gonna beat him.
Easiest comeback of her life.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Don't be afraid to dash attack if he's like keeping that kind of distance from you, like that outside of your fair zone kind of thing.
Gotcha. Oh, I tried to cover that. All right. No.
So, okay, cool. So edgeguard structure. I would always back air there first, and then if the back air misses, then we F smash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you want to like do your first line of defense with the aerial, which is very low lag, so then you can decide what you're doing with like the power hit on the on like the once they've shown their hand. Amazing recovery.
Oh no, I think I missed the fastball.
That's okay. So, is there anything? I guess the big thing here is there anything with our? We already have our takeaways written out. Is there anything you want to add based on these games, or do you want to? Or do you think what the list we have like is a good amount to work on?
I think the list we have is actually a good amount here.
Perfect. One thing that I've noted that I'm just going to add to it, it's not really an addition. It's something that like we've talked about before, but I'm going to point out. I'm just going to like remind. Yeah, like we don't. F smash and up tilt when on side coverage with side platforms. With side platforms, especially low ones, because like we're not. I noticed that we're kind of like, and I get why. Like you're focusing more on trying the aerial stuff, but like don't neglect the other two. Don't neglect those moves when it comes time to killing them. Like up tilt against floaties to kill them on side plat, or F smash to kill Fox and Falco with side plats that are not Dreamland side plat. Like those are important parts of your arsenal. So yeah, just work them in at some point.
Yeah,
No
I was
rush.
definitely noticing myself like not setting up for a lot of these like tech chase sequences on the platform.
Well, I see you doing it just with the aerial stuff. Like it looks like you're not. It's not perfect yet, but like that's expected. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with like what you're going for here. It's just needs to be cleaned up. But if we had to, if we just knew everything perfectly the second we heard about them, then this game wouldn't be very fun, I think. Very nice, though. Beautiful. Love it. Oh yeah, we started a bit late. Would it be... is it okay if I head out after this game? Because I think that will be
absolutely.
like... Okay, yeah. I'll watch this last one, though. I think that this is going well, though, because I do see, like, setting up a little bit, maybe not there. I would challenge you to just see if you have to just go for the setup and with the aerials or, like, the other two anyway. Like, try to just get yourself more centered under the platform in whatever way you can. Because it'll help, like, if you need to do, like, even if you just move a little bit with a walk, totally fine. Because, like, again, a little goes a long way with this character when it comes to, like, having better footing. I like that you grabbed the edge there. Oh, that was gorgeous. You see how it just like intercepted him with how you did the fair, like the first fair hitbox. That's exactly what you want to be good at doing. That's like such a key part of using his fair effectively. Because like he just doesn't have, like, he can't cover that spot without either committing a lot or, yeah, without committing a lot with his other tools. So fair has, like, a really important job there.
Ooh.
Love that. Love it.
Oh, wow.
Right idea? Like, the right idea with the aerial, with using the aerial, because, yeah, then if he goes elsewhere, you can still, like, react to it or whatever. I think if you had held shield, you wouldn't have gotten hit, possibly. Because I think you would have L-canceled and then, like, been able to block. Yeah, you look way better. I know that you're not, like, as in practice, but yeah, like, just from looking at these games, you look way stronger. I hope you feel stronger.
I do.
Alright, amazing. If you want to keep playing this guy, I'll leave you to it, but this was fun. I'm glad that we could go over this, and yeah, I hope you keep working on the things. Take care, okay?
Yes. Take care. Yes, thank you so much.
No problem. And we'll figure it, I guess, when we'll meet next. We kind of do it haphazardly, so I'll just trust that that's working for you because it's working for me.
Yeah, it's kind of been the best thing for me lately.
Amazing. We'll talk soon. Bye, Kyo.
Okay.